What a surprise on Zionist TikTok. You're not allowed to point out that Jews have been kicked out of numerous places consistently throughout all the fucking years. With the exception of what I'm going to dance back and show you in a second for the most part. Namely, the system that you and I live under, which is why we are debt slaves. And it's also why we're soon to be converted into social credit slaves. Things that I've been talking about, complaining about long term, and most people don't give a fuck. Oh, look, this is dressed up as a hate speech. That's in place to pave the way for what? Do you guys know? A one world religion. It also promotes, by extension, patently fascist censorship, which is the opposite of freedom of speech. You can't leave information on TikTok. Shit you not.
I'm sure if people can't...
It disappeared. Let's see if I can get it back. Maybe. I'm clicking on it. This is the worst fucking app. Just so you guys know what I'm talking about. Community guidelines bullshit. Let's see what's in here. Let's see. Yeah, I did. Good. At least I'm being consistent. Connect the dots. These things are related.
You guys know that 1913 was the year we actually lost control of our country, right?
And that's not true. What do I tell you guys all the fucking time? I mean, you can't Google it, but the Republic fell during... Oh, fuck. Hold on. I'm knocking shit over. The Republic fell during... That's why I shouldn't be doing this shit in the middle of the night. The Republic fell during the Civil War and was finalized in 1871. This is not ice. This is a prism. 1871 marks when... Hold on. I gotta clean this shit up, and I'm still totally fucking preoccupied with doing this. 1871 marks when the Organic Act established the District of Columbia. The District of Columbia is what? Some of you probably should know already. It's the bottom of the trilateral city-states. And it should not exist. But it does fucking exist. It's symbolized by the Washington Monument. What else do I need? I need some towels. There we go. Ugh. What I'm getting at is 1871 precedes 1913, and 1913 marks when citizens were converted into debt slaves because the currency was fast. It was moving. Not how am I trying to put it? All currency was becoming debt-based, which is why citizens became debt slaves. It's not something that people understand or appreciate. It's because the Federal Reserve was established under the pretense of being both voluntary and temporary. It's important to appreciate these things. Most people don't. Most people argue in favor of it and will tell you that taxes pay for roads. I'm still rattling this shit off because I do it often, for one. Two, I want you guys to be able to juggle or at least spin more than one plate. I want you guys to be able to work towards doing things like this because we are constantly being bombarded with distraction campaigns. So if you're incapable and or unwilling to do so, you're probably not going to fare too well in the scheme of things. Then again, I have no idea how some people get fucking dressed in the morning, let alone go about their day. I mean, these days, yeah. Either way, here's the video, and he's not going to tell you about any of the stuff that came before. Keep in mind, there's more to it. I mean, there was a plan in action, which was executed, a thoughtful plan to promote the Hegelian dialectic, which is fascism in practice. And that's why the Civil War was carried out.
Oh, and just for historical context, World War I started in 1914. I mean, you guys know that 1913 was the year we actually lost control of our country, right? Oh, and just for historical context, World War I started in 1914. I mean, look, I'm sure that was a coincidence, but let me just tell you all the things that were created in 1913. First, the Federal Reserve, which is neither federal nor has any reserves. It's basically a private bank that just controls all of our money. Second thing created in 1913 was the IRS. And I'm sure it's just a coincidence that it was created the exact same year that a private bank took over all of our money. Yeah, I'm sure it's a coincidence that that was the year they started taxing you. Like, you work, they print, and then you pay them back with interest. Yeah, that makes sense. The next thing created was the Rockefeller Foundation. Yeah, and let's be real, that was all about philanthropy. It's not like they took control of medicine education, science, and basically the health of the world. I mean, let's be real. All they were doing was donating money. Yeah, it's not like they were buying control of everything. Oh, and that worked out so well, right? Because people are healthier and more self-sufficient than ever, right? Oh yeah, also in 1913 was the American Cancer Society. I mean, that sounds like a good thing, right? That can't possibly be bad, except it was completely funded by extremely wealthy people. But even though it was a charity, they never really gave to anyone. No, they just took their money and invested in pharmaceutical drugs. Oh, and chemo. Yeah, instead of taking that money and investing in companies that were trying to find a cure, no, we'll just invest in companies that use chemicals from the military that were later banned. Yeah, that's a good thing to keep fucking putting into people. Then also created in 1913, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, which sure, yeah, it's about civil rights. Yeah, totally. It's not about censoring people or, silencing critics. And then in 1914, we had World War I, and that became the first war ever that private industry profited from war. The private industry that's owned by the same families that created the Fed, the IRS, the Rockefeller Foundation, the American Cancer Society, the ADL. Again, just a coincidence. Oh, I'd also like to point out that a year prior to 1913, 1912, yeah, that was when the Titanic sank. And it's funny how three of the wealthiest individuals on that ship were the loudest voices opposed to central banking. Oh, and there's also the little tidbit that J.P. Morgan was supposed to be on that boat, but he canceled at the last second. But yeah, that's conspiracy. That's tinfoil hat talk. So what's happened since 1913? Well, the dollar has lost 99% of its value. Our debt has just become like a number that we ignore. Middle class getting fucked daily. War is now an industry instead of a conflict. Oh yeah, and your money isn't real anymore. Like, it's just not real. It's not backed by anything. It's just numbers on a paper that private bank print.
It hasn't been real since 1933 or 1934 approximately. There hasn't been gold in Fort Knox at least that long.
99% of its value. Our debt has just become like a number that we ignore. Middle class getting fucked daily. War is now an industry instead of a conflict. Oh yeah, and your money isn't real anymore. Like, it's just not real. It's not backed by anything. It's just numbers on a paper that private bank prints. So guys, like, look, if you're worried about America being conquered or, a rebellion or it being taken over, I just want you to recognize that you're more than 100 years too late. That shit already happened in 1913. You guys know that 1913 was the year we actually lost control of our country.
Now, bear in mind, this guy knocks out a number of bullet points which are relevant. They are. Yeah. I mean, you don't hear most people bring some of those up. And if you do, they bring up propaganda. He didn't do that by and large. He didn't. It's not a bad delivery. Naturally, there's more to it. I usually don't rattle off all the other bullet points. I've been jumping ahead a lot of times and trying to get you guys to connect the dots. He brought up the Titanic. Now think of the Titan sub. Think about what I've complained about having to do with 2023 and July 1st. Because our masters are laughing at us. We're working towards social credit slavery, and huge steps were taken in July of 2023 when morons were waxing poetic about the sound of Freemasons and a lizard person on a plane, and they were distracted with, the Titan sub. Because we're working towards social credit slavery. I'm referring to FedNow on July 1st, and I'm referring to WorldCoin began testing with a digital incentive on July 24th of 2023. And if you bring that up, it's just like me talking about the TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership, or something along those lines. People will look at you blankly because they don't have a fucking clue. Because they really aren't invested, they're not involved, and that's why things are bad, and why all these agendas have legs. Because you and I are surrounded by stupid fucking people. Now, what surprises me is this post has 38,000 people who have seen it. But then again, it doesn't surprise me. Look closely. Do you see a bunch of emojis? I do. Do you see something that states very clearly, contains AI-generated media? Only a retard would promote AI. AI is part of this social credit slavery horse shit. It's also part of patently fascist censorship. In other words, it's part of the plan the incremental steps towards what? A new world order, for the lack of better words. And this idiot's fucking catering to it. So any of the niceties I had to say about some of the bullet points he knocked out, he's a fucking idiot, and that's why he has traction. That's why 20,000 people have circulated the propaganda. I'm referring to the AI. This is a problem. But do you have eyes to see? Are you willing to do the right thing? How many of you assume that what I just complained about doesn't really matter? It's not a big deal. Consider what we're discussing. How do you think we wound up in this boat? People said, it'll be all right. It'll probably shake out in our favor. And here we are, debt slaves working towards social credit slavery. I would say, what the fuck do I know? But let's see what his account looks like. He's probably got thousands of people, right? Yep, 20,000. And he listed his pronouns because he's marginalizing people. This guy is the problem. This guy's a great example of why all of these agendas exist. This should concern you. People piss me off. They really piss me off. Yeah, I mean, have you seen accounts that look just like this? I've seen one too many. Oh, what do we got here? Mr. Controlled Opposition. I support Israel, Charlie fucking Kirk. And the wartime flag of the District of Columbia. You see, if this kid wasn't waxing poetic about 1913, he would appreciate that the Republic fell. He would understand that the District of Columbia is the bottom of the trilateral city-states, and he wouldn't shop shit like that around. But if he did that, he wouldn't have, 20,000 people following him. They wouldn't be patting him on his ass since he's a he, him, his. You got a dick in your pants, you're a fucking dude. Simple. You really don't need to do things like this because that's fucking retarded. I need to go to bed. I'm ranting and most of you won't see this or care anyway. And or you probably won't be bright enough to think about what I had to say.